Welcome to a Positive Minds reading space. The name of this book is Amazing World of Birds. Look up in the sky. Far above the mountaintops is one of nature's most beautiful sights. It is a hawk flying in wide circles as it searches for food. The bird flaps its broad wings several times. Then the hawk soars gracefully through the air. While soaring, the bird holds its powerful wings straight out without moving them. It is an amazing thing to see. The flight of birds has always fascinated people. And throughout history, people have tried to build flying machines. But the first airplanes did not work until their inventors studied the curve in the wings of birds. Then they built the airplane's wings to match. At last, the machine could fly. A bird's flight looks easy, but it really isn't. Nature has given most birds very special tools: wings, powerful muscles, feathers, and light, hollow bones. They all work together to help a bird fly. We often think of flight when we think of birds, but did you know that some birds cannot fly? Penguins and ostriches are two flightless birds. The penguin uses its wings to help it swim. The ostrich, the largest living bird, has small wing feathers. Instead of using its wings to move, this bird has long, strong legs for running and fighting. Birds come in many colors, shapes, and sizes, but they all have one thing that no other animal has: feathers. Most feathers have a stiff, straight part running through them called a shaft. On either side of the shaft grow hundreds of thin, branch-like pieces called barbs. The biggest feathers of most birds are their flight feathers. Smaller feathers cover the rest of the bird's body. Closest to the bird's skin are down feathers. These soft and fluffy feathers help the bird stay warm. At least once a year, a bird molts. This means it loses its feathers and grow new ones. A bird takes good care of its feathers. Using its beak, it pokes and then smooths its feathers each day. This is called preening. Preening helps the bird clean and oil its feathers. When a bird pokes at a gland near its tail feathers, a special oil is produced. This oil waterproofs the feathers. Birds also like to take a bath. After a rainstorm, a starling finds a fresh puddle. It flaps its wings, splashing about in the water. Then it quickly shakes its feathers until they are dry. Some birds take a dust bath. They cover their fluffed up feathers with dust and then shake the dirt off. No one knows why the birds do this, but it may be a way to get rid of pesky lice. Birds are warm-blooded animals. This means their body temperatures stay the same, even when it is colder or warmer outside. Because they must keep up the temperatures and because they need a lot of energy for flying, most birds eat quite a bit. Usually, the smaller a bird is, the more time it spends looking for food. It is not surprising that nature has given each bird specially shaped beaks and feet to help it catch, hold, and eat its food. Some beaks, like a hawk's or eagle's, are sharp and hooked. Such a beak helps the bird to tear the flesh of the animals it hunts. A pelican has a very big beak with a pouch on the lower half of it. This bird uses its beak like a net to scoop up fish. A hummingbird's beak is long and thin. It is a perfect shape for reaching inside flowers for the sweet nectar found there. The bright red cardinal has a strong, small beak. It is useful for cracking seeds, the cardinal's favorite food. Very often, a bird's feet also play a part in helping the bird to find food. For example, the osprey is a large ocean bird that preys upon or hunts fish. It soars above the water until it spots a meal. Diving quickly through the air, the osprey drops its strong feet and sharp, curved claws to grab the fish. Then off the bird flies to perch somewhere so it can enjoy its dinner. Canada geese and ducks have webbed feet for swimming. Paddling through the water, these birds look for insects and plants to eat. A woodpecker has 4 toes on each foot. 2 toes point forward and 2 point backward. This shape gives the bird an extra tight grip when it climbs or clings to a tree trunk. Holding on tightly, the woodpecker uses its beak to drill into the tree in search of tasty insects. Starlings and robins are called perching birds because they often perch upon the branches of trees. Their feet also have 4 toes each. But unlike a woodpecker, a perching bird's foot has 3 toes pointing forward and 1 toe pointing backward. Landing on a branch to feast upon an insect nest, the robin snugly clamps its toes around its perch. It is also thanks to these special locking toes that perching birds do not fall out of trees when they sleep. Most birds sleep at night. During the time of year when they nest, they sleep by their nests. But the rest of the time, they gather together in large groups called roosts. Birds that hunt by night, such as the owl, sleep all day. Most birds have excellent eyesight to help them find food or to escape danger. But an owl's eyes are extra special. They can see extremely well in the dark. Think of the many different kinds of birds you know. Now think of the different shapes of their wings. Just as a bird's beak and feet are specially suited to the way it lives, so are its wings. Near dusk, a group of swallows fills the air like circus acrobats. The swallows' pointed, V-shaped wings help them fly quickly and turn in the air. The birds dart to and fro. As they fly, the swallows' wide mouths are held open to catch insects. Over the ocean waves, a gull soars. Its wings are pointed and long to catch the sea breeze. The beautifully colored hummingbird, the tiniest of all birds, has short wings. But those wings beat at an amazing 70 times a second. That's why the hummingbird can fly so fast. It's also why it can stay in one place while in flight. The figure 8 motion of its wings keeps it aloft. After sipping the nectar from a flower, the hummingbird flies backward from it. No other bird can do that. How does a bird fly? Most birds begin by running or jumping into the air while flapping their wings. If you could see the bird's wings moving in slow motion, you would see that they move in 2 ways, up and down, and also in a circle. The shape of the wings also plays an important part in the miracle of flight. A wing is rounded on top and flatter on the bottom. This shape and the wings' flapping motion make air pass more quickly over the top of the wing than beneath it. The air below the wing tries to move up into the space above the wing. When the air moves in this way, it creates a force that lifts the bird up. Birds fly for many reasons. Often they fly to find food or to escape an enemy. Some birds use their voices to warn one another when danger is near. Almost all birds have voices which they use for calling or singing. A bird's call is usually a squawking sound. Hungry baby birds call to their parents with a loud, cheeping note. Songbirds, such as nightingales, are known for their pleasing voices. Their songs are made up of a few notes in a row. Certain birds, especially starlings and mockingbirds, are very good at imitating sounds. They can make their voices sound like barking dogs or sirens. To us, the voices of a group of birds may sound alike, but scientists found that the birds themselves can tell one another apart by their voices. The scientists studied a large group of birds called a colony. They found that the mother and father birds could always find their own babies by listening to the chicks' calls. Male songbirds go from tree to tree and sing a special song. The bird's song tells other birds that the area is his and that other males should not come near. Male songbirds also sing to attract a mate. Other birds use special movements or their bright feathers to attract a female. The peacock is best known for its beautiful tail feathers, which it opens into a lovely, large fan. After finding a mate, birds often build a nest. Usually, the female does the nest building while the male collects things to build with. Some nests are like small bowls made of twigs and grass. They are often held together with mud. African weaver birds gather in large groups. Together they build a giant hanging nest woven of plants and grass. Each pair of parent birds then moves into its own special room in this huge mansion. Other birds, such as falcons, do not build nests. They lay their eggs on the ground. Starlings are lazy. They sometimes wait until other birds have built a nest. Then the starlings chase the birds away and move into the new nest. After the female lays eggs, the parents must sit on them to keep the eggs warm. Most times, the mother does this job. Inside each egg, a tiny baby is growing. One day, the egg cracks. A small hook on the baby's beak, called an egg tooth, can be seen as the chick pecks its way out of the shell. Now the hungry baby calls loudly for food. The parents must care for the babies until the chicks are ready to leave the nest. Birds of different kinds can be found nearly everywhere on the earth. Some birds live in one place all year long. Others migrate. This means they make long trips called migrations from one part of the world to another. Some birds, such as ducks and geese, migrate from a cold, wintry area to a warmer home. Others migrate to a special nesting place each year, and still others migrate to get away from areas that are too wet or too dry. The Arctic tern makes the longest journey of all. It can go a total of 22,000 miles a year. This tiny traveler flies all the way from the Arctic to its winter home in the Antarctic, and then back again. What tells birds it is time to begin their migrations? A built-in time clock tells birds to migrate. How do the birds know which way to go? Scientists do know that some birds find their way by looking for landmarks such as river valleys or coastlines. Birds, whether large or small, are amazing animals. Their voices, their beautiful feathers, and their many different ways of living are interesting and fun to learn about. Indeed, we are lucky to be able to study these lovely creatures, for birds make up an important and very special part of our world. Thank you for joining me in this reading adventure. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.